All right, guys, we're gonna throw a little curveball your way here. Let's do it. Really? All out. Not too terrible there, guys. Welcome back. This is Eric here with Iraq Veteran 8888. Today we've got another video for you. We're going to be shooting a .327 Federal Magnum Henry lever action rifle. This is their big boy steel model, blued steel. Big loop, buckhorn sights. Nice light handling characteristic, light handy profile to it. Got a straight comb stock, walnut, checkered. Nice well-fitted recoil pad. You guys, you're no stranger to the Henrys. We've reviewed quite a few of them. We've shot these in several different configurations, so I'm not going to bore you guys with any repeats of details, but this is basically their big boy with the big loop. And a little .327 Federal Magnum. That's kind of a interesting little cartridge, okay? So the thing about this gun right here is you've got .327 Federal Mag, which is a 32 H&R mag on steroids. This is a relatively new cartridge for Federal. It's only been out a few years. And of course, you know, several gun makers have chambered various revolvers. And in this case, Henry's chambered their lever action in this particular caliber. I haven't really gotten around to doing much with this gun until recently. I thought it would be kind of fun to take it out, see what it's all about. We're just running some Federal soft point ammo there. I've also got some Spear gold dots that we're going to play around with. This is a .32 caliber projectile. I've also got a few Hornady FTXs there. It's kind of got a unique shape to it right there. We've also got some .32 Smith & Wesson ball ammo that we're going to shoot out of this. The nice thing about .32, when you get into .327 Federal Magnum, what you're really getting into is you have a whole parent series of cartridges that this lever action, just like a revolver, can fire as long as it'll feed through the mechanism. I don't know if you're supposed to try to feed .32 S&W through this particular gun, but this one does feed it just fine. So as long as it doesn't hang up and as long as it feeds okay, you could even shoot like .32 shorts and things like that if you single chambered them. Now, obviously you're not going to get it to run through the action, but as long as it's similar length to the original .327 Federal Magnum and it's not too far off, it will cycle through it, which allows it to take a wide variety of different .32s. Power level of the .327 Federal Magnum is pretty well in line with .30 carbine. The two are very similar, especially bullet weight to bullet weight. So with a .30 carbine, okay, if you were to load, let's just say a 100 to 110 grain bullet in a .32 caliber, pit for pat, the velocity is going to be very similar within 100 feet per second or so of each other. So power levels are right in line with a .30 carbine, but where the .32 comes in is, one, it's a little bit bigger bullet, and you can also get heavier on the projectiles a lot better. And this lever gun, not to mention various revolvers chambered in this cartridge, are going to be a lot more forgiving of the bullet shape and the bullet length and the overall length than something like, let's just say, a .30 carbine M1 rifle would be. So comparing apples to oranges, I would say that .327 Federal Magnum is to .30 carbine as .32 Special is to .30-30, if that makes sense. I mean, a .32 Special is just a .30-30 necked up to a .32 caliber bullet, basically an 8mm bullet. So kind of cool. You get a little bit bigger projectile, a little bit more bearing surface. You get a bigger hole, obviously, so a bigger wound channel. And as the projectiles expand, you're obviously going to get a bigger wound channel. And probably as you get into some of the heavier bullets, especially if you get them on the upper end of the performance level, you can probably get some really good penetration. That's something that we're not able to test here today, but maybe in a future video, we'll do a ballistic gel comparison between the .327 Federal Magnum and the .30 carbine. Maybe, I would say another comparative, maybe .357 Magnum would be a pretty fair comparison to this cartridge as well. So, one thing that I notice about this cartridge that is kind of cool is the fact that the recoil impulse is absolutely zero. Very, very handy. Nice recoil impulse, not terribly difficult to shoot at all. This gun holds 9 rounds of standard 327 Federal Magnum and 1 in the chamber, so a 10 shot total. I haven't been counting on these. Now these are slightly shorter, so it may fit 1 extra one in there to make 10 in the tube. I don't even know if they recommend the use of this more intermediate 32 S&W, but for what it's worth, guys, we're gonna shoot it anyway. I don't know if y'all are familiar with rook rifles. Basically what a rook rifle is intended to do is usually a rook rifle is chambered in a more powerful cartridge, but you can download a sub-caliber type of cartridge or a very light cartridge that the powder burns up in the barrel, and you also get good velocity, but because of the barrel length being so long and the fact that you're shoving such a small charge down the barrel, it's a lot quieter. So rook rifles, in combination with properly loaded ammo, tend to be very quiet, but they're not suppressed. Think along the lines of like an Aguila, what do they call those, Calibris?
Calibris.
Similar to a Calibri in a 22, except a little bit more full power, okay? Imagine a small lemon squeezer round, but out of a rifle. So I want you to hear the difference between the 327 Fed and just a standard 32 S&W. Listen to this little thing here. Now I'm gonna wear ear pro because I shot one without ears on earlier. I would consider it hearing safe, but we wanna be safe, okay? So I'm gonna wear ears. Listen to this thing hit the soda.
Old Faithful.
Bounced off a dang soda. They run. All right. You could just about use that for like cowboy action shooting. I mean, just literally like a mouse fart coming out of this thing. It's really not bad at all. Not bad. Not bad. All right, let's get a few more sodas up there and we're gonna reset the range and keep going here. Yeah, I had a few little minor hiccups, but I am asking it to probably do something it's not meant to do. We'll get back to the 327 Federals. I wanna try to hit maybe some sodas with some of these Spear Gold dots. Let's do it. All right, for fun, we've got some more sodas set up. We're gonna shoot a 32 Magnum. Yeah, no, 327 Federal Magnum Spear Gold dot. Okay, that's a factory loaded Spear Gold dot, and we're gonna take out a couple of soda pops. Yeah, buddy. Man, those gold dots really fed through this thing really nice. Nice and smooth. And I would definitely attribute that to the very efficient shape of that projectile. Probably helps out with that. I did notice if I short stroked a little bit much, I could get a few of these rounds to kind of catch because that is a pretty blunt nose. Let's try those again. All right. We're going to group a few of these 327 Federals and see what we're dealing with here. Not bad. I do like the light handling characteristic of the gun. The light recoil impulse is definitely a welcome thing. And you know, this is very comparable to shooting a 357 Magnum. One thing that I probably failed to mention earlier that I didn't necessarily think about is that you really can compare this to a 357 Magnum pretty dang well, okay? I would say probably a lot less recoil than a 357 Magnum, although in a gun this weight, a 357 is really not that bad in terms of recoil. That's one of the nice things about these guns. They are nice and lightweight, and they carry well, and they really don't kick that bad. Do I need to stop for a minute? You have to cover that up with a piece of B-roll or something, aren't you?
Well, it'll sound funny when just cover it up and it's like,
you want me to just...
Keep going, quick, keep going.
You sure?
Yeah, awesome.
All right, so we're gonna group a few of these rounds here, just see what they're all about, have a little bit of fun. Just gonna take my time and just try to group them. I know we're kind of close, but let's just see what we're dealing with here. Yeah, some of these rounds are hanging up a little bit. I don't know if that's an ammo related issue or what. Not bad. Tell you what, we're gonna try a couple of these 32 longs just to see what these are all about. Kind of a nice little mouse fart, if you will. Not too bad. This Joker's getting a little warm here. It is hot out here in general. And it gets a little bit further down the rabbit hole when you start adding some hot guns into the mix. Summer is upon us, and she's a hot one. Oh yeah. Okay. All right, let's try these little ones again. These are the 32 S&Ws, so it's just a standard revolver cartridge. I know in the past we've talked a little bit about perfect pairs, that whole concept. This is definitely a rifle that could be a perfect pair if you've got a revolver that fires the same, 327 Federal. So I'm gonna group these 32s right here, just see what we got. A little cowboy load. I wouldn't say rook territory in terms of a rook rifle, but almost as quiet as a rook round. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. All right, we're gonna load this thing up and maybe take a couple of shots at a few of our poppers here, which we have neglected the entire video. Those poor sodas are just having such a bad day today. Not only in this video, but other videos we filmed. We've got an entire graveyard over there of soda bodies, which are now lying lifeless and liquidless over in the grass. Because we're such evil men. No soda's safe. All right, between Hickok and I have to say we're keeping the cheap soda industry in business. All right, poppers. Gopher. Not bad. The gun is hitting maybe just a smidge to the right for me. We're kind of just going for it here. I didn't really adjust the sights or anything. I have to mirror what I've said in a few of my previous videos on the Henrys. Those Skinner sights, guys, definitely a nice upgrade for the Henry. I know some of you probably, like the buckhorn sights that are on these, and they're definitely not a bad sighting arrangement. They do work for their intended purpose. I have to say I probably prefer the Skinners a little bit. It is a nice solution, and the Skinners are not terribly expensive. I think those Skinner sights are like a little over $100 a set, so they're really not too bad. Easy to drop right in. Gives you a nice radius. Really good look, nice clean look to the gun. Not to say the buckhorns don't, but that's just an observation. Nice looking checkering. All in all, I think the 32 is a pretty cool concept. I don't know if it's something I would rush out and you know, go buy, you know, 500 rounds of 327 Federal ammo and multiple guns chambered in it, but it is an interesting kind of footnote, something to look at. I know some people are really hot on the caliber, some people aren't. I know some folks already have an M1 carbine laying around, maybe an old Ruger revolver chambered in .30 carbine, which yes, they do make a revolver in .30 carbine. But there are Rugers as well as Smith & Wesson revolvers out there chambered in this particular caliber. So if this is your love affair, you've definitely got a lever gun to go with that particular caliber in a revolver. Pretty cool. I think that what is probably going to have to happen, okay, we're going to need to revisit this caliber, and I think we're going to break out some ballistics gelatin, do some ballistics gel tests. We might compare it to .30 carbine, which we've done some ballistics gel testing with .30 carbine before. We've done some penetration testing with the 110 grain service ammunition. So maybe comparing the 327 Federal to 357 Magnum and .30 carbine, probably going to give us a little bit better idea of where this cartridge stands compared to its other brethren that are out there. Just the same, it's a lot of fun, super gentle shooting, absolutely no recoil. I do notice that, like with 158 grain bullets in the 357 Magnum version of this gun, it can have a little bit more felt recoil, which is not bad because I'm used to shooting big bore rifles and big bore lever actions. But for those of you that might be a little bit more recoil sensitive, that is just something to note, that this is a very soft shooting gun, especially with the lighter loads, which is a lot of fun. Yeah, some of those rounds are hanging up. I don't know if it's a crimp issue or what, but what a soft shooter. All right, guys. Yeah, I like the big loop. Really gives you a lot of real estate there. Cool stuff. It is drilled and tapped for scope mounts. That's nice for some of you that want to put an optic on a rifle like this. Guys, we've done a lot of work with the Henrys in the past. They are a lot of fun to shoot. They're very well made. They're made right here in the US with pride. And I'll tell you one thing, that their customer service is excellent. I have had some warranty issues in the past with Henry, and their turnaround is expert. I mean, very, very friendly people to work with, and they're really quick to turn things around if there is an issue, which there rarely is, but that's just how it goes sometimes. Guys, thanks for watching today's video. We hope you enjoyed yourselves today. It is swelteringly hot out here. It's been a great day though. We've had a fun day on the range doing a lot of shooting. Make sure you stay tuned. We've got a lot more range videos on the way. We hope you enjoy them. We try our best to just look at all of these things from a really just middle of the line, straightforward kind of view, just report things like we see it. Am I a fan of this cartridge? I think at this point, I'm gonna say I don't really know yet. I mean, okay, so we wanna compare apples to apples. An animal getting shot with a 110 grain bullet, one of them's moving 100 feet per second slower or faster than the other. Is the animal gonna know with proper shot placement which bullet they got hit with, whether, oh, well, ouch, that 32 felt a lot worse than that .30 carbine? No, maybe not. I think it really does come down to preference and how many guns you have laying around already chambered in a cartridge like this. I know some people already have 32 revolvers laying around, so a gun like this is practical if you've already got 32 ammo laying around, you've already got guns chambered in it. Is that to say that I would go selling all of my M1 carbines and then buying rifles and pistols chambered in this cartridge? Maybe not. But it gives you an option, and it is an option, and we just wanted to show you guys this rifle because it is cool. Pros and cons. Pros, it's a soft shooter. I do like that. Okay, very cool. Cons, I would say the buckhorn sights probably are going to be something that some people might want to upgrade. That would be one observation. But all in all, it's a Henry, guys. It's a solid rifle. The caliber's neat. We are going to do more work with it. We'll do probably some ballistics gel testing, so stay tuned for that. We'll try to get on that soon. Thank you guys for watching today's video. Thank you all so much for the support that you give us through man cans. Many of you donate money on Patreon. All of those funds go directly to supporting the channel. Some of you buy shirts over on Forge from Freedom. All of the funds that we earn off of those various avenues all go back to supporting the channel and funding the channel. So thank you so much for your patronage and for your support and for your viewership. Have a great day. We'll see you soon.